Scouting is regular monitoring of your field. So when you go into your field and you're looking for pests, diseases, anything that looks out of the ordinary in your field. So that is basically what we call scouting, just monitoring of your field, making sure that everything is in place. So why do we scout? Firstly, you are scouting to see that everything is fine with your field, your plants are healthy, there is no nutrient deficiencies, no pests, everything is still perfect. What are we scouting for? We are scouting for, as I said, nutrient deficiencies, so the yellowing of your plants, purpling of leaves. And then we are also scouting to look for biotic factors, which are your fungi, your bacteria, your viruses, and also your insects. So those are the main things that we scout for when we're scouting. So if you have a field, depending on the size of your field, there's different scouting patterns that you can use to be able to identify anything that looks out of the ordinary. So you could use 3 different patterns. So we have a diamond shape. So you would walk in your field basically in a diamond shape just to make sure that you are covering a certain area. Then you can switch it up the next time you go scouting. You can go into a zigzag fashion. And there you are then looking at a different part of the field that you haven't scouted for before. And then also you can go in circular motions as well. So there's different patterns that you can use, especially if your field is quite large. You would want to scout in a larger field, a larger area. So you would usually use different patterns then to look for pests and diseases. One should scout all seasons. So summer, autumn, winter, spring, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. And that is because usually with insects, you would find them early in the morning. So it's better to scout early in the morning for things like your insects. But also depending on the temperature, you could have different pathogens then emerging as well. Also, you would like to scout when you have had irregular weather. So if it's too hot, too cold, it would be nice to go into the field just to see that everything is still okay. So when you're going into the field to scout, you need a basic scouting kit. So you would need a permanent marker, you'd need plastic bags, you'd need brown bags, you would also need a knife if you have, you would need pruning shears, you would need a digging fork, a net if you're going to scout for insects or want to look out for insects. You'd also need a notepad for you to be able to take notes. And then also a camera. You could use your phone or you could use a high-end camera if you have one to take pictures of symptoms that you see in the field as well. So that is your basic scouting kit. If you want to go extra and you have, let's say, a plan of the field, a layout, a map that can guide you, especially if you have a larger field, that would also be beneficial. You would also need a history of the field also. So let's say you planted a different crop in a different season. You would like to know that information because certain pathogens or insects can move from one crop to another. So let's start with your leaves. If you observe any symptoms on your leaves, it could be purpling, it could be curling of leaves, it could be spots. It depends. Sometimes if you can be able to identify that this is caused by a fungus, it would be beneficial for you to collect the leaf and the stem and put it in a brown bag. And the reason for using a brown bag is that when it becomes moist, fungi love that environment. So you don't want the fungus to then reproduce and then spoil the whole plant. Then you could also use a plastic bag, mostly for viral symptoms. So if the leaf is curling, if you can see some chlorotic spots on there, or mosaic symptoms as well, or irregular patterns forming on the leaves, you could collect that and put that as well into a plastic bag. If you're unsure, a brown bag would work perfectly fine. Then if we move on to stems, usually if a plant has any vascular browning or stem rot, you would also want to collect that. Usually we ask that you collect the whole plant. And this is because the pathogen moves from the roots going up. So we are able to diagnose the different parts of the plant and assess them for the pathogen that is affecting the plant. Also with viruses, it's also beneficial to collect the whole plant. The reason for it being that with viruses, we can't culture them, so we can't grow them. So if we have enough material to work with, that is also very beneficial. With insects, you would need to collect the leaves or the stem or whatever the insect is on and put it into a container. So you collect the insect with the plant part, because then it's able to survive inside the container. Just make sure to put holes in the container, just small holes where the insect can come out, just to allow the oxygen to come in and for the insect to survive till it reaches the lab.